Ken George, your AMSOIL direct jobber. So I had some questions recently about AMSOIL products and warranties from the manufacturer or from the dealer. So we'll take those questions pretty quick. And will AMSOIL void your warranty for your engine? And I just want to show you exactly how it's laid out when we look at AMSOIL products. So on the AMSOIL.com website or through PittsburghOil.com, you can see basically all types of different oils and other products that we have. So let's just say you have a new vehicle and you know it takes the 5W20 motor oil. So when you look on AMSOIL.com, you can scroll down and see under applications. Now AMSOIL puts everything pretty clear as day. I just highlighted here. It says, the 5W20, our product code ALM is API SN certified, also SM. And then it's also this ILSAC, GF5, GF4, follows all of these. You can see here it's pretty simply put. It's Ford, Chrysler, GM Dexos, and it has the supersedes as 6094M. And this oil is fortified with detergents that exceeds GM Dexos 1-sulfated ash specification. So all that is listed in all the products. So say you have a European vehicle, typically a lot of the Volkswagens. Now I own a TDI, so I'm used to dealing with some of the Volkswagen spec. And so let's just say you have the, take a look here at the 540, I believe. No, I think I used the 530. And you can see on here when you look at the applications, and here is everything here. So I believe it's the 504 for the one that I follow. But you can see all the specs are listed: the API SN, SM, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, GM, Chrysler, and Volkswagen 504 and 507. And you can see basically that with all of the products. So, say you have a Harley, you want to see the 2050. So what does the 2050, work good in? So here it is. Anything that takes the 1550 or the 20W50, Harley Davidson, Buell, KTM, Ducati, and so forth. Do not use where API GL4 or GL5 oil is required, gear oil is required. So you can look in here then and see what we have for the gear oil. So primary and transmission fluids, they'll actually have it there too. So here's actually the specification for the primary fluid, I believe I just clicked on. So here's the Harley Davidson Triumph and Indian bikes, the certain model year. So all of that is listed. And if you want to exactly see what's the easiest way to do things, we have this awesome lookup a vehicle system. So say you have, let's say I'll just look up my car, the one that I drive for me, and it's a little Subaru Impreza. So, it's saying to use the OW20. And then here it'll have the specifications. So I probably need one of those specifications here. And I believe it's just this SM that my car calls for. And then you can see Chrysler and Ford spec is also in here. So the American Petroleum Institute, or the API, will have all the listings of what your vehicle takes. Now, it is actually illegal for a company or a manufacturer to say you have to use their oil. So it's something that you need to look up and know about. So for instance, here's the Moss, I believe it's the MagnusonMoss Warranty Act. So here I'll highlight it. Basically, what this states is it's a federal law. So it's in every state of the United States. This is to be followed by anybody that does business in the 50 states. So you can see in here that it talks about there are fear tactics essentially. So for instance, my Volkswagen, I pop the hood and it says use Castrol oil. Well, I've been to the dealer and I see that the Castrol oil comes in a bulk truck with a hose laying through the shop. I'm not putting that into my car. Sorry, not doing it. So I just can't trust a hose that's not capped and they drive down the road with it. It's picking up dirt and debris, and then you're going to pump that into a tank and then pump that into my car. I don't think so. I'll get a sealed quart that I know is good and clean. But essentially, Castrol paid for that sticker to be on my car, and I don't care if they're paying for it or not. And it's just one of those where most consumers will look at that and say, "Oh, well, this car takes Castrol." Go to the store, you get Castrol. But which Castrol do you get? A Volkswagen takes specific oil. If you don't go in there and know that, you're just going to buy Castrol oil and go put it in your car if you're going to do it yourself. So that's where it's kind of weird, and I don't agree with a lot of these scare tactics that businesses are doing, especially these dealerships. So you can see in here that a lot of the dealerships are saying you have to use their product, and that's fine. If GM says you got to use our product, or Volkswagen says you have to use Castrol, then under this act, and you can Google the act, the MagnusonMoss Act, then it has to be given to you free of charge. That's service and the product, including more than likely the filter. If you have to use their oil, you more than likely have to use their filter. So, don't be duped whenever this happens. If you go and buy a brand new car at a GM, Ford, Subaru, whatever you have, Volkswagen, the Kia, they're saying you got to bring it back here for service. Okay. You have to bring it back here for oil changes. Okay. Are you mandating me to bring this car back for oil changes for the warranty? Then it must be covered. And that goes for oil, transmission, gear oils, not just lubricants either. That could be parts in general. So, say your gas cap goes bad, and you go to Advanced Auto Parts or AutoZone or Napa, and you go buy another gas cap to put on there, and it's not from the factory, and you put it on there, and then they say that, okay, your fuel system locked up because you put on the wrong gas cap, then essentially those products need to be all free from the manufacturer. So it's a big thing that, to really call the manufacturer out on. We've had this especially happen at a local Harley shop here in Pennsylvania that was saying you have to bring your bike in for service and you have to use the Harley oil, and it's a $150 oil change to do the oil in the bike and a filter and the service fee, or we won't cover your warranty. So there's a couple things to watch out for. If they're going to do that, then it has to be a free service. Why are they paying the $100 and some? That is completely against the law, and that's where you can print out this Magnuson-Moss Act, and it is a federal act available in all states. So just make sure that as a consumer that you're not being scared into having to use a certain brand of oil or brand of products because of the warranty. And this is kind of different between ripping the exhaust off and putting on a new Gibson exhaust or whatever have you, or putting on a new intake, try and get some more fuel mileage. This is a little bit different here, where those are aftermarket parts and you're trying to make the OEM product better. The same kind of concept, though, of using aftermarket oils to make it run better are there, but you're not essentially changing completely because you're still using an API certified product. And all of the products that AMSOIL has, you can find the API certifications. So anything you have, even ATVs, all of them will have on it the specifications that you need. So don't be scared to look around and see what other products are out there, so you're not stuck into using something that isn't going to be beneficial for you. AMSOIL is a full synthetic, made in America, top quality products. And I believe everybody should be using them, especially when you buy through PittsburghOil.com. But it's one of those where just changing the lubricants will help out. And so here's, for instance, I just picked up this 550 ATV and UTV oil. And here it is, Polaris PS4 and PS4 Extreme Duty. So there's a recommendation right there. And that's the application that's good for. So you can look up and see if that's what your product calls for. So don't be worried to look that up. So anytime you have any issues with warranty, or should AMSOIL or will AMSOIL void my warranty, feel free to ask me with any questions. We also have our warranty secure info. So AMSOIL is confident that using our product, now I don't believe that there's any other lubricants company out there that'll do this, that actually our products, if they fail and your vehicle blows up because of our products, we will cover it. We do need a sample. We probably will need to check everything to find out that if it was our product, because we make the best stuff. We test it before it ships. We know what it is, and we guarantee that our product is going to work great for you. If not, then we need to know about it. If there is an issue, we need to know about it so we can fix it or recall or whatever we need to do. And that's the AMSOIL way. So, make sure that you know more about this. Here's actually the Federal Trade Commission website, so you know that I'm not talking fluff here. The FTC, consumer.ftc.gov. So here's actually how it's spelled out in the warranty. So do I have to use the dealer for repairs and maintenance to keep my warranty in effect? And the answer is flat out no. And you can learn more about the actual info here. And then, will using an aftermarket or recycled part void my warranty? And the answer is, again, no. So you are allowed to use aftermarket parts that are approved to meet the specification. That includes recycled parts. So there's some things you really need to know about this, and I would suggest anybody that's looking at a new vehicle take a look at this website, so you know that that you're getting the best deal, and as a consumer exactly what you need to know. So of course, if you need anything, feel free to look me up on PittsburghOil.com. Putting that in wrong, but feel free to let me know if you need anything. And we can go from there and make sure that you have the correct products in your car. Another note here is just kind of a little tactic that vehicle manufacturers do. So say, for instance, I have a friend that has a GM product, and they give him 5 free oil changes. And this is actually what I've heard many times from a couple other people that use this GM dealer. So they'll go into the shop to get their oil change done, and they just go in whenever the light goes off, and while they're there, they kind of go and walk around. They don't just want to sit in a service area, because they kind of purposely made the service area a little small and uncomfortable. So they get you walking around the shop or walking around the parking lot, and then a salesman will come up to you. Hey, do you like that vehicle? How do you think of this? And we'll get you into it for the same payment that you're at now. You just get a newer vehicle. Well, usually by your second year going back, which 2 oil changes, usually about $15,000 a year. So by the second time you go back, people drive an average of $15,000 a year. Your oil change is probably going to be 8 to 10 on some of those GM vehicles with the Dexos on the newer models. Well, what they've been doing is they actually redesign the front ends or the tail lights, the body, every year or every other year. So whenever you go to the dealership, you see something new and you want to buy the newest, coolest thing. So, it is kind of like a way that they can help force people into more sales by saying, we'll keep you in the same payment. We'll give you, the better deal. You'll get the new body style. So, just be aware of why, a manufacturer is doing the free oil changes or free service or free inspections. That's a way to get you in there. It's a great thing to do. Great way to build loyalty to that dealership. But in all honesty, is it the best thing for the consumer? Well, that's for you to decide. And definitely make sure you know what you're getting into whenever you're dealing with a new dealer or someone you haven't really done business with before. Do your research. That's exactly why I'm doing these videos, is to let you know that, hey, there are other options out there. AMSOIL will not void your warranty, and what you need to know in case your dealer says it will and how to go about it. Now, we'll sell you the AMSOIL products. You could buy them right on PittsburghOil.com and have them shipped to your house, and then take them to your dealer and say, hey, I want you to install this. Make sure you can watch them from a window or whatever you need to do to make sure that they are putting in the products, so you know that they're actually going in there, because we've actually had dealerships that are like, oh wait, put that to the side, I want to take that home because our oil is that good. So, any questions about any of that or the warranty information, hit me up at PittsburghOil.com. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at PittsburghOil, and I hope to do business with you soon. I thank you.